Have you ever felt like you're living below your true potential? Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." The mind is where silent battles begin, and the greatest victories are won. Today, with Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, and Will Smith, we'll reveal what they discovered about reprogramming the mind to live with purpose and abundance. Napoleon Hill taught, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But what happens when the mind is programmed with fear, scarcity, and doubt? That's where mental reprogramming becomes a path to freedom. And Bob Proctor declared, "You were born rich, you just have to remember it." Reprogramming the mind is an act of courage. It means letting go of an old identity built on limiting experiences and inherited beliefs. It's declaring, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." And that choice starts now. Bob Proctor said, "Real change doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within." When you change your internal vibration, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, the outside world responds. It's like tuning into the frequency of abundance, and the key is in your mind. Proverbs 4:23 tells us, "Guard your heart." In Hebrew, heart also refers to the mind and center of decision. In other words, protect what you think, feel, and believe, because that determines whether you'll live limited or free. You don't need luck, you need clarity. Napoleon Hill said a disciplined mind is a powerhouse of achievement. Clarity about what you want, combined with faith and persistence, creates a magnetic field of opportunity. It all begins with thought aligned with action. Bob Proctor reminds us, "You're not stuck because of circumstances. You're stuck because of paradigms. These paradigms are subconscious beliefs limiting your potential." But here's the good news. Whatever was programmed can be reprogrammed. Today, you can change your destiny by changing your thoughts. Will Smith once said there is no plan B because it distracts from plan A. That conviction comes from a focused mind. Doubt divides, but decision builds. And every decision begins in the mind, when you declare, "I deserve more." Think and Grow Rich is more than a book. It's a calling. Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 millionaires to understand what set them apart. The answer: they believed, visualized, and acted with unwavering faith. You can do the same. Start with a new pattern of thought. To reprogram is to repeat until it becomes real. Affirmations, visualizations, silence, prayer. These are spiritual and mental tools that shape a new identity. You're not pretending. You're building what always existed within you. Proverbs says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." In other words, identity is born in the mind. If you think small, you act small. But if you think with faith, purpose, and abundance, the impossible becomes inevitable. Bob Proctor said, "You don't need to know how it will happen. You just need to decide." That decision sends a command to the universe, your mind, and your spirit. Decide now. Your life won't be a repetition. It will be a conscious creation. Will Smith turned failure into fuel. He said, "Failure is part of the path to success. It's where you learn. Don't fear falling. Fear not trying. Every reprogrammed mind embraces mistakes as part of the process." You are not a mistake. You are a mission. When you reprogram your mind with truth, you realize you were born to win. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the inevitable, and that bridge begins in your mind. This is the time. This is the moment. Don't delay your awakening. The change you seek in the world must begin within you. And it all begins with a new thought. You may have been conditioned for scarcity, but you weren't born for it. Hill said, "Success requires continuous mental effort. You must break old patterns, even family ones. Your story may begin with pain, but it doesn't have to end there." Bob Proctor said the mind is like a garden. If you don't plant thoughts of faith and abundance, weeds of doubt grow. Are you cultivating hope or fear? Whatever you plant, you reap. Will Smith says talent is natural, but skill comes from intentional practice. The mind needs training. You must hear the truth daily until it's louder than fear. That's reprogramming. Proverbs 4 doesn't just say to guard your heart. It says to look ahead, keep your feet steady, and turn neither left nor right. In other words, focus. A focused mind is a spiritual compass. Napoleon Hill observed that fear is the greatest thief of dreams. It paralyzes, limits, and deceives. But faith, when cultivated, destroys fear. You may not control everything, but you can control what you believe. Bob Proctor said, "The mind is like ice. It can trap you or set you free. The choice is yours. You can relive the past or project the future. Faith reprograms the mind to see the invisible and achieve the impossible." Will Smith said his greatest motivation is the fear of living an average life. He uses fear as fuel, not as a cage. You can do the same. Turn your fear into momentum, and your mind becomes a lever. Reprogramming also means forgiving. Resentment is an emotional prison. When you release what holds you, you make space for the new. A clear mind is fertile, and faith blooms where there's inner freedom. Proverbs 4 ends with a call to wisdom. Wisdom is applying what you already know but haven't lived. You already know what needs to change. The question is, will you act? Today you received mental and spiritual keys, but keys don't open doors on their own. It's your action, your faith, and your consistency that turn the lock. The time for waiting is over. Now is the time to live. Napoleon Hill said, "Riches begin with a state of mind, with a definite purpose, sustained by a burning desire." It's not about how much you have today, but how strongly you want to grow. True desire is the starting point of all achievement. Bob Proctor said the secret is aligning thought, feeling, and action. Positive thinking means nothing if you act in fear. Your energy must be in coherence. That harmony unlocks the flow of prosperity. Will Smith taught us through his journey that discipline beats talent. Winners are those who do what must be done, even when they don't feel like it. To reprogram the mind is to rise above temporary emotions. Proverbs 4:7 says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom." And wisdom is not information. It is transformation. It's when what you know changes how you live. You were created in God's image. That means you carry within you the power to create. Thoughts form patterns. Patterns form habits. Habits form destiny. Reprogram, rebuild, rebirth. Napoleon Hill said, "The human brain is a receiver of vibrations. What you hear, feel, and declare shapes your reality." Are you surrounded by voices that lift or limit you? Choose what goes in, because it defines what comes out. Bob Proctor said, "You were programmed, but you can reprogram yourself." That means it doesn't matter where you started. What matters is what you decide to do with what you've been given. Everything changes when consciousness awakens. Will Smith turned rejection into fuel. Every no became momentum. You too can use your wounds as power. When the mind shifts, even pain becomes strength. Reprogramming isn't magic. It's method. It's faith in action. It's repeating the new until the old no longer fits. It's you choosing to become who you were born to be. You didn't come this far by accident. You were guided. And now, it's your turn to guide others. Reprogram your mind, renew your faith, and inspire your generation. This is your mission. Napoleon Hill taught that you become what you think about repeatedly. Repeated thoughts form neural paths, and those paths become highways or prisons. The question is, what kind of world is your mind creating? Bob Proctor said you live what you are programmed to accept, and everything changes when you expand your self-image. You are not what others told you. You are what you choose to be. Will Smith faced rejection countless times before fame, but he said, "You may be more talented than me, but you'll never outwork me." That's the secret. Faith with consistent effort. Consistency wins. Proverbs 4 teaches to turn away from evil and walk straight paths. A reprogrammed mind doesn't just wish for good, It acts with integrity. Purposeful abundance requires character. Without it, all wealth crumbles. Hill said, "You attract what you are." You can't desire wealth with a scarcity mindset. The mind must be upgraded before reality can transform. This is spiritual reprogramming. Bob Proctor asked a powerful question. What do you really want? Most people answer with fear or doubt, but the mind only moves with clarity. Declare, visualize, align. Will Smith says reality can be shaped. He says, "I am the creator of my reality." This is faith in action. Don't wait for the world to change to transform within. Change inside, and the world follows. Proverbs 4 talks about guarding the mind, the eyes, and the feet. What you think, what you see, and where you walk define who you become. Reprogram these three pillars, and a new life will emerge. Napoleon Hill spoke about the importance of self-discipline. Without it, talent is wasted. With it, the impossible becomes reachable. Your mind needs direction, and that direction comes from your decision. Bob Proctor said, "You are not your past. You are the cause of your future." Today, you can plant a new idea, a new belief, and with consistency, it becomes a new destiny. Will Smith said, "The separation between who you are and who you want to be is in what you do." The bridge between dreams and reality is built with action. Wanting is not enough. You must act, even with fear, even without guarantees. Proverbs 4:23 commands, "Above all else, guard your heart." In the Bible, the heart refers to the mind, emotions, and desires. Guard these with wisdom, and your life will flourish. Napoleon Hill warned, "The mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. That's why you must visualize your success. Imagine it vividly. You are shaping the invisible before it becomes visible." Bob Proctor emphasized that thought without feeling is ineffective. You must feel what you desire, as if it's already real. That vibration attracts opportunities and unlocks paths. Will Smith revealed that his greatest power is believing intensely. It's not arrogance, it's applied faith. He decided that nothing would stop him from living his purpose. You can decide the same now. You are here because something inside you wants to awaken. Mental reprogramming is the process of awakening your spiritual identity. It's a return to your essence, to your true self. Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, and Will Smith are more than names. They are symbols of resilience, discipline, and purpose. What do they have in common? They believed before they saw. They reprogrammed their minds. Proverbs 4 invites us to instruct the heart. A wise heart produces wise decisions. Wise decisions build abundant lives. It all begins with a thought aligned to truth. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Your mind has the power to anticipate the reality you wish to live. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the architect of your future. You've come this far. Don't stop now. Keep feeding your faith, reprogramming your thoughts, and acting with clarity. You're closer than you think. The reprogramming has started. So has your new life. The wisdom of Proverbs 4, combined with the principles of Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor, reveals the mind is the soil, faith is the seed, action is the rain, plant with intention, water with perseverance, and harvest an abundant life. Will Smith overcame the fear of rejection and became a symbol of breakthrough. So can you. Stop negotiating with your limitations. Awaken your potential. It's already in you. It's not about magic. It's about mindset. True transformation begins in the renewed mind. You don't need to wait another year, month, or day. You just need to begin now. You are called to think big, to live with purpose, to turn pain into direction and fear into faith. You are made for more, and that more begins now. Share this video with someone who needs to reprogram their mind and reignite their faith. Write in the comments, "My mind is aligned with heaven. You've come this far." Now go beyond what you ever imagined. The journey continues.